All right, welcome to the show. Good afternoon, Joe.
Good afternoon again.
Yes, yeah. We've only started like 5 times.
Yeah, and we wasted all of our good material.
Yeah.
And Mike said one fact. Like,
did.
no, you wasted that.
I know. I do that. I waste a lot of things.
Yeah.
But as you can tell by the screen, today we're going to talk about. So put on your tinfoil hats. Today we're going to talk about 9/11 and the conspiracies behind 9/11. No one at this table right here believes the government story. To a T. I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing about anything the government tells us. They've lied to us so many times. Why wouldn't we question anything? Everything they tell us. So it's not that we're anti-government. Of course, we're anti-big government. I mean, we're not anti any government. We're just anti-big government, and especially a government that will lie to us and kill us. And I mean, they make a big claim about guns killing. Private gun owners killing how many people a year in the United States or worldwide, but government has killed far more people than individuals ever thought about killing. What is that? Democide? Isn't that what that's called?
When you're killed by Democrats?
Isn't that what that's called when government kills?
I don't know.
Genocide?
That's
mass
not
killing.
Govicide.
Austin said genocide.
But anyway.
That's when you drink too much gin.
Yes. But today we're going to talk about a couple things that Joe and I were talking the other day, and he really
is a genius.
He is. Don't let him fool you. He's a genius. He'll tell you.
Yes.
No, but what we were talking about is talking about 9/11, and for me, 9/11, I've gone over it a million times, so it was kind of like all right, whatever. The government lied to us. It's done. Terrible thing. But then Joe opened my eyes to something else, and now it's like new. So I'm going back over videos that I've watched, and anyway, why don't you share with us what you?
The thought just hit me. I was watching some people talk about Flight 93.
Yeah.
Apparently there was a jet pilot on there. On the plane?
What's Flight 93? Which one is
Flight
that?
93 is the one that went down into the field.
In Shanksville, Pennsylvania.
Right.
Right outside of Shanksville. Where, bring up a picture of Shanksville, first of all, the crash site.
What was the plane number again? 93.
Flight 93, Shanksville. But anyway, go ahead.
I wish I could remember the video I was watching so I could give credit to them, but and there's a couple different videos where they talk about that there was a pilot on the plane, and they said there were like a couple of martial arts instructors on the plane.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're like,
could some guy with a box cutter?
Yeah. Could they have taken the plane and been in control of it?
No, it's fact, even in the report, 9/11 Commission report, that these people already knew that the planes crashed into the World Trade Center.
Right.
And I believe into the Pentagon. I don't know if it was too soon for that or not. We have the times. The plane that crashed in 93 crashed at what time? Supposedly in the field?
That's the one time I don't have.
I believe it was 10:03. Now look at that picture, Joe. Have you ever seen a plane crash site that clean? I don't see any wings.
I've never seen a plane site crash.
well, let's look at this picture and then bring up airliner crash.
From what I understand, though, when they go down, there's not much left of it.
Oh, but there is tail sections, there's engines, there's fuselage.
I know.
They don't disintegrate. What's that? I mean, that's a lot of crap, dude.
Yeah, and it would completely vary too. You know, I mean, if they're trying to land the plane and it, lands, or if it does a nosedive into the ground.
Well, it's not going to disintegrate. But here's my question: they identified everybody on the plane. If titanium engines can't be found, how did they find the people to get their DNA or whatever? You know what I'm saying? I don't. If you can't identify a plane,
right?
How are you going to identify people if it disintegrates a plane?
I haven't really looked anything into the wreckage and all that stuff. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, this goes back to
people say like they couldn't find the engines and stuff, and
I believe they did find an engine, and I'm thinking of the Pentagon right now, but they found an engine in these Rolls Royces. Like that's not our.
Oh, really?
That's not from ours.
Yeah.
But they found one, which is amazing to me because me and my family, or my family and I, sorry. We went to Washington, D.C. on vacation several times. And last year we went. And we went to the Pentagon Memorial. And I'm going to tell you what, I do not see a plane, a big, what was it, a 757, maneuvering like that to hit that Pentagon as low as what it was. And, I mean, if you look at the pictures, the hole isn't big enough. Wings don't fold in and just don't, they're going to do some damage. Well, if you look at the Twin Towers, when the plane went into the Twin Towers, you could see the planes. Now, I'm not saying no planes hit the Twin Towers. Obviously, planes hit the Twin Towers. Well, look how it went through there. I mean, the wings just ripped right through it. But there's none of that on the Pentagon. There's a big hole. And they gave the dimensions of it and stuff. I don't remember what it was. I believe it was like 16 foot wide. And we're supposed to believe a Boeing 757 went through that hole. I don't buy it. And then basically became a slur of almost liquid and went through and then reattached and punched through the other side through a hole. I don't buy it.
We still haven't got to his point.
I understand that, but I wanted there to be a preface to what we're saying. And I know for those that's been in the 9/11 truth movement that we're just reiterating stuff that, we haven't said anything that would make me think any different than what I did. But go ahead with Flight 93, the one that supposedly, I believe it was shot down.
Well, I remember right after it happened, there were people on the ground that said they saw it was shot down.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing.
I don't ever know what happened to those people or their story.
I'm sure you can YouTube it and find it.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, if later on you want to look it up. But I look at that and I say, that looks like a pile of smoldering rubble. I don't see anything that would indicate a plane. I mean, do you? I don't even see I don't know. But neither here nor there.
Yeah.
It could have a plane
That
crash
was
here.
kind of small for a plane crash, unless it went straight down,
But then there would be wings, and I don't know. I mean, the plane just went into a hole.
But if it was shot down, then you're saying
More particles could have fell.
You're right. That's a good point. Yeah,
If it was shot down, we could have particles.
If it was shot down, there would be much less of an impact area.
Yeah. And or if we look at, bring up that one. No, go to the other one where the debris scattered debris on another plane crash. Right. No, not that one you've already been on. Back. Down. Over.
Oh yeah, well, over. More, yeah.
Right there. Now that's what I expect when. Yeah, that's what I would expect if a plane
Okay, I guess it's not going to work.
crashed into the ground.
That doesn't work.
A big area, a bunch of stuff, suitcases, luggage, seats, papers, clothes. I mean, but like we said, if it was shot down, you would have a more concentrated area of damage, and I believe that could cause an engine hitting, pieces hitting. But I mean,
if it was shot down, there'd be debris over a long.
And there was.
Yeah.
They were finding debris 15 miles away.
Wow.
So I mean, we can look that up. Debris from Flight 93. If you want to look that up. But anyway, let's keep on going. I'm sorry.
And then, we've all, I was gonna say we've all heard of Tower 7, but we all haven't.
But
I'm surprised when I say to people about Tower 7, like, what's that?
And that's how I was with you, because I've already been in the 9/11 truth thing for a while. And at the time, my wife was working in a bar, and Joe and I would meet up, we'd talk. And I happened to have my laptop with me, and I said, man, have you seen, because Joe was a denier for a long time.
I was still a zombie. I was still hypnotized.
And I said, haven't you ever seen Building 7? He's like, what's Building 7? And I'm like, the way Joe is now. Yeah. Are you kidding? You don't know?
I think you made some point about, well, how did Building 7 go down? I'm like, what Building 7?
Yeah, what is Building? And it was sarcastic, too. Like you get from people that you talk to know. What the hell are you talking about, Building 7?
Yeah.
And then I showed him. And you could just see it in his eyes. What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm like, no blame nothing.
How do I explain this away? Because his first comment was to me, well, that's a demolition of a building. That's New York City? Yeah, that's New York City. And then, of course, you have the videos where, like with the BBC, where they announced that Building 7 had already fallen. And it was in the background. Have you seen that video?
No.
We'll have to bring that up too here in a little bit. But go ahead.
So they're saying it fell and it
was already reported to fall.
Wow.
And then when they realized, oh shit, it's still standing, her feed goes like you've never. It's fake.
One of the ones I was watching. Yeah. The building fell in the background after she said that Building 7 already fell.
Oh, there it goes. It's starting to fall right now. I mean, it's amazing if you do your research and you just... Guys, and here's the thing, and I know Joe's the same way. If you hear the government say something and you do your own research and you still believe them, more power to you, man. I don't care. It does affect me, but it don't affect me. But if you do your research, and we don't go into everything's a conspiracy. Although, I am going to question it. I'm going to question the narrative that I'm getting from CNN, mainstream media.
I was going to say, when you said do your research, I'm like, go right to CNN and see what they say about it.
And if they say it's not true, it's not true. But go ahead. Anyway, we're talking about Flight 93, crashes in Shanksville under suspicious wreckage, I would call it.
So we're saying...
So even now you can see, Joe and I don't agree.
We've wondered about Flight 93.
Yep.
And we've wondered about Tower 7. And one day it hit me, What if Flight 93 was headed for Tower 7?
So, and that blew my mind. Because here you are. You already got this building wired up to be demo. I mean, obviously.
Well, you already have cardboard burning in the basement.
Yeah. And NIST, National Institute of Scientific, I forgot what it is. It's called NIST. Their report came out on Building 7, and they said that it was destroyed and came down because of the Twin Towers falling and office fire.
That's the
Which-
separation.
In history, now, well, what's the,
This is where it crashed right here.
okay, there it crashed. Look how far the debris is.
Debris over here and all
Wow.
over here.
That's usually what happens when a plane strikes the ground. It throws stuff.
Oh, freaking miles.
Yeah.
Miles. I mean, yeah, it was unbelievable how far away they found
Yeah,
stuff.
wow.
So, it was shot down. I mean, I remember hearing, because I was in Chicago at an expo at the McCormick Place, and I remember hearing on the television that they shot down a jet. I don't know where that footage is. I never looked up that footage, but I could swear I remember them saying that on the news. To me, it's obvious, but
So was it Hitler said, tell a lie and repeat it enough times and
yeah,
everybody will believe
say
it?
it loud enough and long enough, and people will believe it.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, when Joe said that to me, I'm like, holy cow.
And I don't know why I never heard anybody else say that.
And I never have. I've never
just-
heard that. So
My brain just made that connection.
I did some research, and it is pretty weird what happened from the time the planes were hijacked until that plane was shot down, I believe, or crashed in Shanksville. So I believe everybody knows the story about NORAD, but everybody don't.
Right. Yeah.
Explain what NORAD is.
A North American something.
North American Air Defense.
Right.
And they're responsible for protecting the airspace and, continental United States.
They control everything.
They control
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
Here,
They're part of the Illuminati.
he's got a video.
Their thing is to track Santa.
Yes. So anyway, what happened is they sent they finally got permission to scramble jets. And the jets fly not towards New York, but straight over where?
Pennsylvania?
The Atlantic.
Oh.
Straight over the Atlantic. They were, and kept going. And kept going. Why are we wasting time? I mean, who was the golfer that they all passed out in the plane?
Payne Stewart.
And they had jets on him right now until he crashed, until the plane crashed. That's, what's this video of, guys?
Footage of Flight 93.
All right.
Now been completely sealed off and is being treated, according to the FBI, as a crime scene. Governor Tom Ridge made some remarks earlier at a press conference. He had flown over the site. He said the emergency response here was immediate. He also said, and I don't know whether or not you all are able to see pictures of this, but this is one of those cases where the pictures really do tell the story that sort of the most horrifying aspect of
Is
this
that
particular
pieces of
crash
debris
scene.
that was blown off of
How
it?
little
Those are pieces of debris that were in the lake that he showed earlier.
In
Listen.
the ground, and I'm hoping that you all are seeing it as I'm talking about it, but that's really all you see is a large crater in the ground and just tiny, tiny bits of debris. There has been at least one report that the investigators out there, and there are hundreds of them, as I said tonight, have found nothing larger than a phone book.
I want to get quick.
Sounds to me like something that's been blown up.
Nothing larger than a phone book was found.
I mean,
And over 15 miles?
yeah. Yeah, that's a plane that was shot down. And why? Then I go back to Joe's theory. What if it was supposed to hit Building 7?
And the passengers took charge of it, and you can't have them landing and telling their story.
No. That's big trouble. They did get the okay, and you can research this, they did get the okay to shoot down any other jets. And so the permission was granted to shoot down these passenger jets.
Here, play the rest of this video. See if it.
So if the pilot would shot it down, he was given permission to do it. I mean, you're not a military pilot, are you, Joe? And just
No.
choose to, I mean,
No.
what's the repercussions for something like that?
Pretty severe. Well, the ultimate, let's say.
Yeah. Okay. So we know he had permission, and I've never known a military pilot. I'm sure you have. They tend to be pretty sharp guys, aren't they? They pretty much got their shit together.
Yeah.
One thing I did notice, if you can bring up the flight pattern of Flight 93. I want to show you something because I researched this, and it is so weird because the flight turns and makes a straight shot if you line it up going to New York City. Then all of a sudden it just makes a little curve down into
But then-
Pennsylvania and then it crashes. But it was lined straight up with New York City. So if you look at where the plane is, I don't know if you can hear me. You might be able to hear me.
I mean, it's kind
I'm
of hard
just
for them
gonna-
to see it anyways. It's really small.
All right.
Zoom in on it.
The plane,
He's gonna zoom in.
if you look here, if we can zoom in here, guys. If you look here, can we get it slid over a little bit so we can get New York in here?
This trackpad's not working too well.
There you go.
All right. If you look, it turns, and then it makes a sharp turn here going to New York City. It's lined directly up to go to New York City. But then all of a sudden, over a field in Pennsylvania, you want me to believe that he saw a landmark that made him know, oh, I have to make a turn here to go to Washington, D.C.? Nah, I don't buy it. He was lined up to go here. But unfortunately, it took too long for this plane to get where its destination. I think they didn't hijack it in time. Or whatever happened here. They didn't gain control of the plane in time to get to the destination. I believe that NORAD had the planes fly over the ocean, the Atlantic, to make more time. They didn't scramble the jets for a long time. So they could, they could make up some time to get there. And then by the time this thing was on course to go there, well, they've already made the corrections. The fighters are over New York City.
They realize that they no longer have control of the plane.
They no longer not only have control of the plane, they no longer have control of the situation.
Yeah.
I mean, that morning they had control of the situation. That went off like a military operation. I mean, it was boom, 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 boom. I mean, look at the times. It was perfect timing. Yeah. I'm sorry, but somebody who uses a rock for a chair and a pile of sand for a footstool ain't going to come up with that kind of. Yeah, and I guess I shouldn't say that, but I don't believe some guys out in the desert planned something that sophisticated to happen. Maybe you do.
No, I believe. Well, who are they trying to? I mean, if they're trying to say that Osama bin Laden came up with that, whoever he's got, you know, you need a lot of intelligence to do something like that. I mean, I don't mean intelligence like smart intelligence. I mean information. You need a lot of.
And what people don't understand is Osama bin Laden was a CIA asset.
Yes.
Who armed the Afghanis to fight the Russians at the time, or the Soviet Union at the time? Who was that? I believe it was the American government that gave them weapons to fight the Soviet Union. What was, if you type in, search the name Tim Osmond.
Good singing group.
They were
Pilots too, or
he's their he's like their illegitimate.
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a big
Seriously, or
no.
Oh. See, you're starting to get me to believe it.
Research, guys.
Yeah,
No, but if we type in,
I came up with a sarcastic remark, and you turn around and beat me with it.
yes, you would never do that.
No.
Did you type that in?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get a result on it?
Yes, comes up with Osama bin Laden, aka CIA asset Tim Osmond.
Can you put that up on the screen there?
Tim Osmond.
That's his CIA cover. This is stuff that's been thumbed out from people investigating stuff from 9/11. I mean, don't believe me. Do your own research. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh, well, it's on the internet, so it has to be true."
Right.
I mean, I'm not like Joe. I don't believe in the Greys. But I mean, if you're going to set somebody up,
Yeah.
I mean, use somebody you used before. I mean, and the funny thing is after 9/11, the Taliban didn't take credit for, it's not the Taliban, is it? Oh, it was Al-Qaeda. They're all the same, I believe. ISIS, Al-Qaeda. But we're the ones who put Al-Qaeda together to fight the Soviet Union. But Al-Qaeda never took credit for it. As a matter of fact, the FBI, Osama bin Laden was one of the FBI's most wanted. If you can pull that up, the FBI's most wanted list. Do you know what's not
Not current.
on the FBI what he's wanted for?
Mm-mm.
He's wanted for the bombing of the Cole, which I don't know if anybody remembers.
Yeah.
And then Bill Clinton's his solution to that was fire some missiles into a sand dune.
Yeah.
He was wanted for the bombing of embassies, I believe one in Africa. 9/11 wasn't on there. And when the FBI was asked why he wasn't put on the FBI most wanted list for that, why that wasn't put on there, they told whoever was asking, the reporters, whatever, that there wasn't enough evidence to connect him with it, which I find. But people don't read
Yeah, they
anymore.
found all the passports of the guys that did it.
Yeah, unsinged,
Yeah.
perfect condition, on top of the rubble.
Well, it blew out the windows, and and then the
flame?
updraft caught it, and it landed on the building.
And people believe this. But you know what's funny
Well-
is a majority of the people whose family members were killed in 9/11 don't believe it.
Yeah.
And you would think them would be the people that you want to answer questions for, but they refuse to go back into it. I mean, I believe Donald Trump said he was going to investigate it. Hasn't. I think it goes way above Donald Trump.
Well, how do you know he hasn't?
True.
Maybe that just.
Where do you have to be as a person to be that evil and for that to be okay and to keep your if you're willing to keep your mouth shut about something that a government did, who cares about your well-being? We're talking about well-being of millions of people, not who cares about you or myself. You know, wouldn't you open your mouth?
Maybe there are people that did.
I just,
But then again, too, you know,
or do you think people are just afraid of being made fun of and pointed out and being called crazy that they believe this stuff? Oh, you're a flat earther. You believe in the reptilians. Do you think? How can that be classified in the same?
right.
Now, if I told you in the 1950s that the United States government was giving black men syphilis,
From 1932 to 1972.
yeah, you would have called me what? Oh, you believe in reptilian people? You conspiracy theorist? Well, guess what? That's true.
Yeah.
They didn't care. But now everybody thinks the government cares for them. What is he?
It says murder of U.S. nationals outside of the United States, conspiracy to murder U.S. nationals outside of the United States, and attack on a federal facility resulting in death. And this is a picture straight from a .gov website too.
So no 9/11.
It doesn't say anything about 9/11.
Wow. You would think that'd be on there. That'd be a big thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it says wanted in connection with the August 7th, 1998 bombings of the United States embassies in Dar es Salaam. I can't pronounce that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's talking about
Kenya,
those
which is Africa.
yeah.
And did they talk about the coal?
Not that I see.
Yeah. And this is November
2001.
2001. A little bit after September. What do you think about it's not even on the FBI most wanted? I mean, this is real stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
this ain't made up. We didn't come up with this. We did come up, well, you came up with the theory of Building
Tower
7.
yeah.
Now, here we go. We're going back into this.
You know, I would wonder about this too when it's like, it's like Julian Assange.
Yeah.
You know, they picked him up on jumping bail. Or sometimes they pick somebody up on something and they don't charge them what they want though. That's a placeholder. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't want to blow my case of murder, so I'm going to hold him on.
Then why did they murder him? If they did kill, I mean, they went and killed him
I know
because
there's a bunch
of
of
9/11.
I'm playing the devil's advocate here, and they do that actually. Really, I mean, it's so.
Oh, it's no collusion though.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, there could be. There could be now.
Those conspiracy theorists with their tinfoil hats saying Donald Trump was colluding with Russia.
Yeah, even now, after there's no, and now it's not collusion, it's obstruction. Obstruction. He was never brought up on obstruction charges. And if he was obstructing, believe me, Mueller would have, he would have been prosecute it.
Yeah.
But I love that it says in the report, and I know we're getting off subject, but this is new news, so that it doesn't exonerate him. I didn't know the Department of Justice was supposed to exonerate you.
Right.
They are supposed to find that you did something wrong, not exonerate you. Not because in a court of law, am I wrong, Joe? That in a court of law, it's not.
If you hire a private investigator, they don't exonerate you. They bring you evidence. Here's
you
all
go.
the stuff.
Now,
this is what I've found.
Now prosecute him with what? This is what I give him. How would they exonerate him? Saying that he didn't do something pretty much says, okay, he didn't do it. In a court of law, it's not guilty and innocent. It's guilty or not guilty. You don't have to be innocent. It's just not guilty.
Well, it's guilty until we can finally find something that'll stick.
Well, but in this case, it was guilty until proven innocent, where in this country, you're innocent until proven guilty. But boy, has this year and last just been the total opposite. I mean, we talk about Judge Kavanaugh, guilty. And it's funny, where are all those supporters of the, what was it, about the victims, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Where
We have to believe him.
Yeah, well, where's those people talking about Creepy Joe?
Well, you don't have to believe that.
Do you understand?
Yeah,
what a double standard.
Yeah.
And I mean, does the Libertarian Party really want to be part of that atmosphere? I mean, because imagine that.
And that's the thing.
These guys work together. I mean, Republicans and Democrats, I don't care what you say.
It's not D's or R's. It's right or wrong.
Yeah.
If a R's wrong or a D's wrong, they're wrong. If they're right, they're right. It's...
And like I said, I don't know anyone. Well, I do know people. Me, myself, I don't want to see the president fail. Good, but I hear on the news right now, good news. We might be able to impeach him. How is that good news? Well, isn't it good news to find out that your president wasn't colluding?
Yeah.
And what they're trying to do is, I mean, how would you react if I think he's reacted very well considering what they're trying to get him on is treason, which I believe you can be put to death for. So he's being accused of associating or conspiring with a country that's a threat. I mean, how would you react to that? Wouldn't you be a little pissed off? That's your life. And they're saying, oh, because he said, I'm fucked, he's guilty of something. Well, I'm going to tell you what, when the whole government's after you, I'd pretty much say I'm fucked too. I don't know how you feel about that.
Oh, I would. Even if there's no just knowing that they're after you, it's like, I'm fucked, because they're gonna make something up. They're gonna,
And how much stuff have they made? It's all been a lie. Not to mention the FISA courts and allowing them to do things that they didn't even investigate. I mean, things got to change. I mean, if the Attorney General don't do something and go after these people that were the cause of this, I mean, I know we always say there's no left, there's no right, but they hate Donald Trump, right or wrong.
Interesting thing. Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that. and there were Republicans that did too.
I mean, they hate Donald Trump.
Yeah. Hey, you forcing your way into our club,
Yeah. Drain the swamp.
Yeah.
They hate Donald Trump. And I sit here and I look at, and really even the 9/11 thing.
Apparently there was they were spying on Ted Cruz also in case he got the nomination.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
If they're spying on us and it's proven that they spy on us, you don't think they're going to spy on... I just assume they spy on every campaign.
The other interesting thing that gets me is people know, though, that your cell phone, they're listening to us right now.
Oh.
And it's being recorded. If they want to, if they want you, they will just look up you and listen to everything you said, everything you tweeted, everything you...
And we've all broken federal law.
Well,
we've all done things.
What shocks me is they're like, wow, we found out Omarosa was recording Trump. Everybody in there that had a phone was recording Trump. And his attorney. What was his attorney's name?
Cohen?
Mike Cohen.
Yeah.
He was recording. They had a meeting. He was recording Trump. No, yeah, of course he was. The government was, and they just have to dig up that recording.
Yep.
That's all they have to do.
And
so it's not, it amazes me. Why don't people realize that? Of course they were recording, but they didn't know they were recording.
And that's the thing. If you're going through this live, just thinking that no one, you didn't break the law, so you don't have anything to worry about. Let me assure you, you are breaking the law every day. You may not
there's
know.
Enough stuff. There's enough stuff.
And that's why they keep putting laws on top of laws on top of laws on top of laws, because they got you. If they want to put you away, they will find the reason to put you away. I love that high heel coffee cup. Could you please show that? That is nice. Did you bring that?
Oh, this is a setup. This is what I brought. I brought that one. So I got a
mine
place
is
this behind the mug.
Mine is a lot better. Did she do that? My wife did that on purpose. Back to 9/11. Even talking about all the stuff that we have, you go back to 9/11, and they don't spend the time that they spent on Trump on investigating 9/11 and what really happened.
Last time we were talking, I was saying, do you know who was put in charge of the FBI like 2 or 3 days before 9/11?
Go ahead.
Bob Mueller.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. He's a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
Not a liar. Tells the truth. I forget the guy who was put on. I mean, we're on 9/11, so if you've watched any of our shows, we jump around like crazy, but for people that are hyperactive in the mind, I think to me it's entertaining. I just
something shiny.
Yeah.
A squirrel.
One of the guys in the back here just said, "You guys get off topic real quick," and that's what we do. If you don't like it, then subscribe. Subscribe and tell us that you don't like it. But, anytime you have a question, comment, something that you want us to talk about, comment down below, and we'll be more than happy to talk about whatever you want within reason. I mean, we're not going to talk about Joe's sex life because that will be a boring conversation.
That'll be a blank screen episode.
And we're not going to talk about mine because that would be nasty. No, but I really
huge.
Huge. Deep. So deep.
You're wrong. You're so wrong.
That was awful.
No, but I really think.
Sometimes. Go ahead.
I believe.
There you go.
No, I really believe that your theory makes a lot of sense on the 9/11 Flight 93. Go ahead. You were saying, I think the last thing you said before we went off track again was, we can't have them land the plane and tell their story.
Oh, yeah.
So go ahead with that. And I'm going to shut up.
Yeah, pretty much that's it.
So
I was going to say something.
After 5 o'clock in the afternoon, what happened with Building 7? The Solomon Brothers building. So, I mean, go ahead, talk. Like you were talking to me the other day. See, what happens is Joe don't talk much when we're on, but then we shut off the camera? He's like, did you know? I'm like, no, I didn't. Why didn't you bring that up while we were recording? I don't know. I'm like, yeah. I'm sitting here talking, and I don't know, I just give you a reason to insult me instead of you talking. So you talk about your theory.
It's tough for these things to come out unless I put the foil hat on, and then they flow.
Next episode, we're gonna have a foil hat on.
Yeah.
So go ahead. We can't have these people land
Right.
the plane.
You can't have them land and
So
tell their story.
So what they do? What do you believe that they did?
I believe they said, we can't have them land and tell their story. So they
we're gonna have
shot
to
them
shoot down the plane.
And then they're like, oh shit, we already have this building wired to blow up.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, that
So,
happened.
the plane's not going to make it here. What do? We got to bring it down. We can't leave it there all wired up, or whatever they did to bring it down. Well, we'll bring it down and we'll figure something out.
We'll wait, let it burn a little bit longer, make it more believable, and then
They're certainly going to believe that some paper bags were burning in the basement that brought it down.
it worked.
It
worked.
We
They
did,
believed
yeah.
it.
But I told you to take the trash out.
Yeah.
Now look what happened.
And I just.
Do you remember the apartment building that burned in London?
Well, I believe
Not
I
that
remember
long.
one.
It was.
I remember one. I believe it was a hotel in not Venezuela.
See if you can find the apartment building.
Was
burned
it
in London.
huge?
Yeah, it was. I don't know, 60 stories or something like that, or it burned, and there was a skeleton left standing there.
Okay, well, for those
There was
who don't know,
a huge fire.
for those that don't know, because I'm sure there's people that don't know, didn't know about Building 7, never even possibly thought in '93. I never did. Was supposed to crash into Building 7. For those that don't know, in the history of architecture with steel structured skyscrapers, there's only been 3 times that they've collapsed due to fire. All 3 times was on 9/11.
Right. I mean, and you can see that the apartment building in London, it
We got that video,
or a picture or something. It's
a picture.
No.
We can't get it.
I'm looking for it.
I don't remember.
Cocky. We're not paying you big money to be cocky.
Not paying me at all.
That's why I said we're not paying you big money to be cocky.
Well, it's kind of hard when he goes, that one building.
Because if we were paying you big money to be cocky, you'd be earning your money.
There's quite a lot of buildings that have burned down.
Yeah.
Steel. Okay, let's stop the dead air. Keep on talking, Joe.
Blah blah blah. No, we.
Now, I have a question. Is this something that the Libertarian Party talks about?
What?
9/11.
Not in the group I know.
No, it's taboo. You don't.
I'm gonna get laughed at.
Do you believe so?
Yeah. There are
Because the anomalies are there.
there was
and you're going to be ridiculed for the anomalies.
there
that
was
you
a
see?
there was somebody that they just forwarded me a message because being the representative for District 2, there's it's 6 counties or something like that, and they'll send me a thing, hey, we got this message, guy wants to join, he's in your area, or a guy has a question, he's in your area, so as guys said, I'm a Republican, and I just can't go with everything they're saying, everything they do, we're for small government, and we're going to start this administration and raise taxes, and but that was his point, is that he's not for.
Is that the right one?
That might be it. I remembered it being burnt more to the bottom and up, but how tall is that even? I'm not sure if that's the one or not, but of course you can't zoom out. But what I was going to say is the guy, he was going to join the party. Turns out he was in Area 3, so I sent the email. But when I sent the guy the email, he signed it off. Thank you. THANQ. And I'm like,
That's another thing.
WWG.
I'm not
WGA.
the QAnon thing. I'm not. I know what it is. I've seen it. Of course, Joe's big into the QAnon thing. I don't know if he wants that known or not. So, do you care?
I don't think I've said to anybody, but
Oh,
maybe
well,
my son.
I'm
But
just,
no, I would not have said that if I did figure people were going to believe that. Or
Well,
people were going to figure that out anyway.
and
This is like me coming out of the Q closet.
yeah, and I see things that Joe has pointed out to me, and it makes sense. I mean, whether I believe it or not, that's one thing.
The whole Bob Mueller report. It's like I knew they were going to find him. Well, there was no collusion to begin with. Q's been stating a lot of things like that. One thing he said is, because they're discussing whether Mueller was a white hat or a black hat.
Well, before we get into this, you knew before, Q knew before.
Probably
Democrats,
a lot of people knew before, even if you didn't follow Q, because there wasn't nothing there. Assange himself said, no, it did not come from Russia.
Yeah.
He said it. And so that was no secret, And he put out a like a $50,000 reward for the arrest of whoever killed Seth Rich.
Yeah.
Assange said that.
Yeah. People got to understand that, they're saying, oh, only Republican. Joe's not a Republican.
No.
I identify more with the Republicans, I guess. Joe says I don't. I am a libertarian. I just don't know it yet.
Yeah.
I'm a conservative. I don't say I'm a Republican. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. They'll say it, oh, you believe that you knew before because you're a Republican. Your guy's not a bad guy.
Yeah.
Trump. You don't believe he's a bad guy, so you knew nothing. You were ready to impeach Trump before Mueller asked one question to one witness. That's not how it works. It's not how it's supposed to work.
You have a crime, you find the criminal. You don't take a person and find a crime. Because you can do that on everybody.
And that's what we were talking about. We actually sometimes will come to we'll get off track, but we'll connect those tracks, and I think
we'll just shoot right across the track to the other side.
But with 9/11, I think an investigation needs to be done on it, and I don't believe.
Well, one has been done by.
I believe it
went right through the Ministry of Truth.
Yeah,
And
I think it needs to be a private investigation, not a.
Oh, that's another thing too. Is with like any airplane crash or anything like that. That's all. The government investigates the entire thing, and then they tell you what happened.
Exactly, and they told us what happened, but it makes no sense.
You remember that flight 800 that was headed to France that went down?
That got shot by a missile off the coast.
Many people on the
New York.
ground's like, no, I saw a missile. No, what you saw was, and it takes time for the sound to get down to you because it's, so you heard that, no, I saw, here's the plane and here's a missile.
Yeah, I saw the light.
Yeah.
Swirling up to the
plane.
jet,
It's
and
not like,
boom. No, you didn't.
well, actually, you saw it in reverse. You saw stuff coming off. No,
It was a mirage off the ocean. Yeah, and that's what you're told there.
So, people don't like monopolies unless they're government monopolies. If you know, there were different groups of people, or different companies that investigated plane crashes, they would compete with each other, and I'd have to get better than this guy. It's like everything that competition does.
Is in this country anymore? Is there anything bipartisan anymore?
Well,
I mean, does not everybody have their guy?
I don't see them as being two parties, really. Well, maybe up until before Trump, they were one party, and they took turns being the bad guy.
And now doesn't it seem like it's one guy against two parties? What's that saying we the other day, that it's not, in the beginning it's hard to be a patriot because,
yes, I don't remember who said that,
but after he's fought for his cause, then it's easy because there's nothing you don't have to give up nothing. Mm-hmm. And I feel like there's a lot of Republicans now on Trump's side, including Ted Cruz. I heard him the other day, complimenting Trump, but after the election, he wouldn't.
Oh yeah,
dude. Bitter, but he let it go. But these Hillary supporters, man, they can't let nothing go. What if we were like that on important things? Like you were saying, we want the truth. We don't want what you think. We want the truth. So let's investigate until we get to the truth.
Now, I'm gonna say, what Q has said.
All right.
I haven't spoken much about what Q has said.
Here we go. Grab your tinfoil hats.
Okay,
go ahead.
There were a lot of, Democrats and Republicans, and they hold stuff on you. Like Trump. I'm sure when he went into office, it's like, hey, we got this dossier on you, and it says about peeing in the bed with Russians and stuff like that. You got to play ball with us, or we're going to dump this. We're going to let this out.
Yeah.
And, presidents up to him have played ball. They hold things on you. Well, apparently, it was like that with Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah.
And some of them have done things that and Q has said if they did you know about the sealed indictments?
Yeah.
Over 90,000 sealed indictments in the country. And he said,
I believe I know that through you.
Yeah. He said and you can go to like qmap.pub and pull that up. But they
let me interrupt for a minute. But going to QMAP, now is that like the same as me going to CNN and getting the truth? Do you understand what I'm saying?
No.
Isn't that website going to give you the narrative that?
No. What? And the thing of it is,
I'm playing devil's advocate.
I got you. QMap.pub is some anons that put this stuff together. There's like there's a sealed indictment anon. There's a resignation anon, and these guys take on the responsibility. I'm going to keep track of all resignations.
So this is all about stuff that can be proven.
Yes, the sealed indictments, and I've seen where they take the all these are listed on like pacer.gov.
All right.
So being that it's a .gov site, it's probably not reliable, you know.
But what you're saying,
that's
there's,
where they all come from.
there's documentation to back up everything.
I haven't seen anybody doubt. In fact, I've seen, some people on
Now,
news
is this why you're
talk
not
about-
hearing? I mean, and here we go
What
again.
I was going to go back to
Go ahead.
was
I'm sorry.
he said like 70%. If they don't make deals, like 70% of the government will be gone. They're holding stuff on people. This is the way they've done it. You go back to J. Edgar Hoover, holding stuff on people. You know.
But didn't they have stuff to hold over him?
Oh, they did. Yeah. So they're probably holding that on him, so he's holding that on everybody else. You know.
Don't let this out.
But pictures and stuff on J. Edgar Hoover.
Yeah, the first transgender.
Yeah. So anyway, a lot of the, in the 2018 election, there were several Republicans that didn't run again. Paul Ryan.
Yeah.
They had things on him, and they're like, "This is our deal with you."
Well, Barry hated Paul Ryan.
Yeah. Barry
Sanders.
Oh, Bernie.
Barry. Obama.
Hussein.
What was his name? What they say his name was?
Barry. That's what they called him in high school or whatever.
Yeah,
Barry.
Barry something.
I don't know.
It don't matter.
Bury the truth.
But Obama hated Paul Ryan.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
and some of that might have been a show too.
I've heard it said. Go ahead with Trump.
But anyway,
with Trump, go ahead.
Apparently, these Republicans that resigned, they made a deal with them. Look, I don't know what deal they made, but part of it was, you're not going to run again, and they stepped down. And some of them as well, if it wasn't bad enough, they took whatever they were blackmailing with them and
destroyed it.
Removed that threat.
Never destroyed it.
And like they said about and if you go to qmap.pub, it'll list the players.
All right.
And like one of them, and several of them, it'll say,
you said like white hat, black hat, good guy, bad guy.
Yeah, and they say like gray hats too, because like they say like Bob Mueller, they said no, Bob Mueller was involved in the Uranium One scandal too.
And explain what that is real quick. People are
the Uranium One scandal is where they sold uranium to Russia,
and that includes Hillary Clinton.
And Russia was building nuclear enrichment sites for Iran Iraq at the time. No, Iran. I was right. Iran.
Threat to Israel.
Yeah. So we're selling Russia uranium, and they're working with Iran to build to enrich uranium.
And what wasn't Hillary Clinton involved in that also?
Oh, yeah. That's the key to it all.
And that's what I'm saying. We don't investigate those that are in, like you said, in the club.
Yeah.
We won't. How many things do people have? How much stuff do the Clintons have on other people that they can keep on doing what they're doing? I mean, you look at you look at Trump, and we look at Trump, and you hear during the election or right before the 2016 election, grab her by the pussy. All right, grab her by the pussy. Grab her by the. That's all you heard.
Right.
Okay, what's worse? Or with the porn star. What was her name? I ask you because I know you watch a lot of porn.
All I can think of is Horseface.
Yeah.
Because Trump.
But anyway, Stormy McDaniel.
Yes.
All right. So he paid a prostitute, or he paid
But
a woman that gets paid to have sex. He pays her to have sex with him, and I know.
I want to get back on the track a little bit here.
because that's where I'm going with this, with what you
Yeah.
said about.
Right.
So
Some of the blackmail stuff,
I'm
and it's
saying-
like, you know what?
I'm
I'll
a-
just have to let that go because I'm not going to buckle to your blackmail.
Exactly.
But what they said as well is, and some of these people like Lindsey Graham, you know, there was a point where he was huge anti-Trump.
He's on it right now. I watch him. He's on
Well,
it.
if you see like if you go to qmap.pub, as one of the players, he's listed as flipped/freed.
Oh, really?
It's like they had something on him. Look, we're gonna make a deal, and then bam, he's on fire. It was like,
Oh, man.
it was right before the Kavanaugh hearings and stuff. He was flipped freed. And did you listen in the Kavanaugh hearings when he was questioning them about what was it about military tribunals and stuff? Did you see that? He was asking them about specific questions about civilians in military tribunals. And has it been done? Can it be done? And the whole and treason and executing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you should watch that video
I should.
where and you should watch the other videos that I sent you.
Yeah. We're not going to get into why I haven't watched it.
You had other videos pulled up.
My hands were busy.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
So yeah, I know what you were saying about to being, no bipartisan and they're all against Trump, and now you see that they're lining up behind Trump and stuff. Some of them
but
were
there's,
flipped
there's
free.
nothing to pay for.
Some of them resigned. Some of them were flipped or freed.
Now, I heard Ben Shapiro say this, and man, I laughed. I believe it, but it makes a lot of sense to me. Where they mess up is these candidates that run for president, they come in wearing this white garb, where they're just pure. And he called, they come off as like they're, we know better.
Well, I thought you meant literally they're wearing a white garb.
No,
and I'm like, I haven't seen that ceremony.
No, they come in like they're wearing white garb and they're holier than thou. And in comes, Ben Shapiro called Trump a mud monster. And what he meant by that is, if you throw mud on a white garb, it shows up. You throw mud at somebody who's made of mud.
Oh yeah.
It's really
That's a good point. Yeah,
it's really not good.
Yeah.
And we all know he was dirty before he ran.
I got mud dripping off me. What are you gonna do? Throw mud on me? Yeah.
So I mean, here's the thing: you already said I was a crook. You already think I'm a crook, and I think that's why a lot of stuff just got passed with Trump, is because people already knew it. But he's not claiming. We talked about this and then another show.
He's like, I paid politicians. That's how you had to get things done.
Yeah, but you made the loophole so I could do it.
Right, yeah.
I
had to play your game.
Yep. And, I just... And here's the thing. Yes, he was a lifelong Democrat. I think the Democrats pushed him to be this far right.
It was kind of interesting because somebody I was talking with that was, screaming, yelling about Trump. This was not that long after he was elected. I said, you know what? The Democrats are going to turn Trump into a hero.
Oh.
Not just a national hero, but a world hero. If you throw the ball to the guy in the football and the opposing team jumps on his back and his own team jumps on his back, even if he don't make it to the touchdown, he's a hero because
he went against you.
Because he went a good ways down the road with everybody on his back.
Exactly.
Both teams jump on your back, and especially if you make the touchdown.
Oh yeah, and he's made. I feel he's made a lot of touchdowns.
I saw a video of the yellow vest protests in Trump in France.
Yeah.
I heard about a couple 100,000 people out protesting.
Yeah.
they were chanting, "We want Trump. We want Trump," in English.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, that would be impressive if I even knew who Paris's president was, but I don't because they're not important.
Paris doesn't have a president.
A prime minister or whatever.
Paris doesn't have a prime minister.
What do they have? France.
Paris is a city. Macron.
Hey, delete that. This is
Macron.
France.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know because he's irrelevant. Just like Canada.
Right.
The little U.S.
Trudeau.
Yeah. Pussy hat wearing Trudeau. But yeah, to close up, I think if the government, obviously they don't have the pulse of the people. We can both
Yeah.
agree on that. I think it's time they get the pulse of the people. What do the people want? I mean, they want the truth. They can see
I think
where
the people ought to let the people decide what they want for themselves. Not,
I agree.
This is what we want, government, give it to us.
I agree.
You know, it's,
but we see, we're just, do you believe the average Joe American, average guy, he's just tired of it. He's tired of the lying. Everybody can see through it now.
yeah.
I mean, I believe the average person, and I think that's why Donald Trump is a shoo-in for the 2020 election, is because people just are tired of the shit. They're tired of seeing the lie, and then when it's, I mean, you hear one thing where you think, man, this can't get more ridiculous, and sure enough, they take it to another extreme. And I just think people are tired of it. Hey, well, let's solve the problems we have. Let's do an independent investigation on 9/11. Let's do an independent, not by a governing, let's...
You know, and it's like you said earlier about, what do I think people believe, or do you believe that anybody just afraid to say anything and stuff? In the book, 1984.
1984.
Orwell. George Orwell.
Yeah.
The guy's like, I know they're crap because he worked for, I think the guy's name was Winston. He worked for the Ministry of Truth.
Yeah.
He was the one that got the articles, and he would rewrite, well, they said this was going to happen, it didn't, so I got to put down what did happen and make them look like they predicted it,
Yeah. I mean...
So he knew it was all crap, and he's like trying to look at people and just judge, do I say anything to them? That person almost looks like they might believe, you can't, you got to be the first one to speak up and say, yeah, I think it's all crap. Everybody,
it takes
I do too.
It takes a brave man to be the first one to stand up for something.
Yeah.
It takes a brave man to say, hey, no, I don't believe it. I think, it don't matter. To me, it don't matter. I just tell people what I think. For someone like you, I believe that it's a big step for you to come out and even say, okay, QAnon.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you for doing that.
I get laughed at enough already,
But you belong to a party, and you hold a position in that party, whether it's minute or a large part, within that party. I mean, here's what we have to understand, guys. We're all vulnerable, and we're all flawable. But the thing is we can do great things. We just have to listen and talk and communicate.
And like saying that I have a part in this party, it's not like somebody that would. It's really a struggle to get that part. It's like no. I was more than running and trying and finally I got elected to this position. It's like more like they captured me and made me work for them.
but you are.
Yeah,
it takes a step to get out there. I'm not part of any. I'm not a part of anything. You took the initiative to go to
and
meetings
get abducted
and but it's a good. I don't know. Coming from me, being a friend, knowing each other for so long, I know it don't mean much when I say, "Oh, I'm proud of you for."
Yeah.
You know, because it don't really. But the thing is that it is a big deal because there are those that are going to laugh at you. But here's the thing: if people are willing just to, like they're watching our show right now. And they go, as soon as you said that,
they must have clicked the wrong.
I'm shutting this off because that was brought up.
Right.
That's where we have to stop and listen. And there has to be an open form of communication and debate. Even if, like we talked, we love to debate with our kids just to teach them and to teach them how to argue both sides of the. The thing is I want to understand why you believe what you believe.
I want to understand why I believe what I believe.
But that's
I know it. It's and you know, oftentimes I'll have somebody explain something, or it's like, you know what, I've heard all that before, but sometimes they tell it just a little bit different.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, I haven't thought of it from that side, you know.
And that's the thing. We have become a nation of sissies. In our father's world, and our grandfather's world, and our great-grandfather's world, wow, you know, what a difference there is, because you can't say anything no more. The thought police are after you. You get demonetized if you say something on social media, or they just kick you off every platform, hence Alex Jones. And the thing is we have freedom of speech. There's things we have to stand up for. And yes, as Bush Jr. said, it is just a goddamn piece of paper. The only thing that gives it any legitimacy is us doing it. If we don't practice our right, we will lose our right. We can't be afraid because of what might happen to us professionally, personally. We can't be afraid to do what's right.
It's like Thomas Jefferson.
The quote.
All tyranny needs to gain a foothold is for men of good conscience to remain silent.
And do nothing. And not only, there's one quote, and I don't know who did, I believe it was Jefferson that said, you know, it's not, if you see a wrong being done, and I'm going to say it all, but maybe you can correct me on how
I would like
vocalize
that.
It. I'm sure you would, and I'm sure you will.
If a law is unjust, not only is a man right to disobey, it's his obligation to do so.
Yes, I am sorry, but
that way I don't have to correct you.
There you go. Go ahead and repeat that, because man,
if a law is unjust, not only is a man right to disobey, it's his obligation to do so.
And that gives you power as a person.
Yeah.
And it's like
David Hume, liberty is not taken away at once.
Pieces at a time.
A little piece, and it's like, it ain't worth fighting for that. A little piece. Oh, it ain't worth fighting for that one either.
Until it's gone.
In Washington's farewell address, he had said, you know, you got to stand up and fight for your rights. No matter how small. You got to stand up and fight for every little one.
Because the government can never give you a right. All they can do is take it away. And if they do give you a right, it's because they've already taken it away.
Yeah. They're giving it back.
They're giving it back.
Yeah.
So my thing is, people, you got to get thicker skin. I know I've said it 1,000 times, but the truth don't give a damn about your feelings.
Yeah.
You know, as like, I'm sorry, I have to use the right pronoun. I have to do it. And in Canada, people have been arrested for speech, put in jail for not using the right pronoun because you want to identify as a purple unicorn. I'm sorry, you're not a purple unicorn. And it is... We're recording right now, Joe. Don't act like you're too big of a his ankle bracelet will go off. For the Libertarian Party, he has to be within the building at a certain time.
Yeah.
No, but I think they need to get a pulse of the people. I think the people need to stand up, get a little bit thicker skin, stop being such pansies, grow up. who cares if somebody insults you? And you know what?
And
half
go to-
of it's true. People say, "Oh, Mike, you're a fat ass." You know what? I am a fat ass. And you know what? If I cared, I'd do something about it. You know what, Joe? You're bold.
Well, you know,
it's true.
I remember Richard Simmons. He said he was huge. You know, and nobody ever really said anything to him and stuff. He said he went out
And
to.
I heard he was fat too.
Yeah. No, he was huge. I got you. Yeah, I wouldn't know that, but
Yeah.
but anyway, he was a very big guy, very fat.
Yeah.
And he goes out to his car, and there was a note on his car. It said, "Fat people die. Please don't die." And he said that really stunned him. And then he became Richard Simmons. He was already Richard Simmons, but he was a different Richard Simmons. You know.
Yeah. It
Sometimes you need the truth.
It forced him to look at himself for what he was.
Right.
And the thing is that could have went the total opposite way. He could have went home, cried himself to sleep, sucked his thumb, and you know, but he did something about it.
Right.
And I believe.
And
that's
sometimes it's that slap in the face that takes you to do something. You know.
So, like we're saying, with 9/11, we're not asking you to believe everything we say. I've never heard this theory that Joe brought up about 93 and the.
I didn't hear it either.
But the thing
It just
is
struck me in the head.
it opened my eyes to something, and it was, you know what? It's fun researching the stuff and thinking about it. Could this have happened? Could this? We're not dumb people. I know Joe's not dumb. If anybody's dumb at this table, it's myself. But I want to know the truth, and I'm not getting it from the government. So if I can't get it from the government, like Joe says, we need to do it as a people and do it ourselves. And if we fail, we fail. But it hurts no one by us doing our own research, and I believe no one gets hurt if we govern ourselves. And that's probably where maybe I am a libertarian and don't know it. But I want to thank Joe for helping me with this. He's, of course, going to be here full-time, permanently. Sorry, Libertarian Party, I'm taking some time away from you. I want to thank Justin, Connor, and Austin for their help. And today, we're going to have Austin Fisher's going to be playing us out. Local artist, he's going to be playing us out. And if you know any musicians or anything that would like to be on the show.
I know one.
Do you? Who's that? Joe is our resident guitar playing.
Well, you know, the thing is, I'm not a very good singer, so to make up for that, I play guitar really bad.
He plays guitar really loud.
Oh, yeah, loud.
Back in the day, it was a 6-gun and a 6-string. Man, that was country. That's the way country still ought to be. It was lived, not taught. It was earned, not bought. Had to put in the work to get to the top. Let me tell you how things really gone wrong. These days, it's all I wanna be and singing someone else's song. Everybody's doing the same damn thing. Where have the rebels gone? 'Cause we don't need another pretty boy singing them pretty songs. This fake country boy's doing country all wrong. We need another Haggard or Johnny Cash, somebody chewing back and whipping ass. I need a preacher, I need a savior. How about y'all? Can I get an outlaw? It don't have to be honky tonks, boots and Wrangler jeans. gone